Alright, this video's I'll go out quite late, probably tomorrow on the day of the exam, but like, just know that I made a video because I know I got sidetracked today again. I had study, like, I had a study leave today, so exams tomorrow. Oh yeah, and it's like 9, like 10 at night again, because I fucked up my timing again. So the marketing mix, right? What is it? It's a combo of marketing elements used by a firm, so it can meet customer needs, right? So it consists of the 4Ps, right? So the normal 4Ps are product, so the product, price, place, and promotion, right? The promotion is like advertising it, how they found it, like, you know, putting it on like billboards and TV ads. Place, you know, like how it's distributed and where it's placed, like, you know, where the branches are. The price is obviously what it's priced at, that you can like use PED and YED, you know, just to back it up. And then a product, if it's good quality, and then you can interpret the design mix, like the aesthetics, functions, and economic manufacture. And then you have the 7Ps, which are the extensions to those, which are people. So if you're getting like a pizza delivery, like if the guy's a dick, it's going to be a bad service. The processes are the systems, productions, and stuff like that, that delivery product or service delivers this product or service. So like, it can be done via apps, via people. The physical environment is where you buy the stuff, buy your where your thing's located, right? So like, say if you're in a scuffed area where you are placed within, like, you know, a deprived area maybe. I mean, I think that's going to be an example. Like, no one's going to buy your shit. Alright, now we have the market, the simple shit. So normal good, when the price falls and income increases, there's more demand because you have more money, it's cheaper, you're going to buy it. A luxury good is when you have when the price is still high but your income increases, so will demand. Then the inferior one's being a bitch because it's it's kind of confusing. But when the price is low of the product, right? So it's a low price. It's normally a necessity. So low price and income increases. You can like switch to a different bigger brand. Like instead of buying like scuffed shoes, you can start like buying like what, I don't know, like good Nikes and Adidas's and stuff, instead of buying just rubbish. When income decreases, you're gonna go back to them. So you always crawl back to the inferior goods somehow, either via recession, redundant, if you become redundant or whatever. Okay, now we have risk and uncertainty. So risks are the possibility that things will go wrong. So it can be managed through contingency planning, which is pretty much future planning. And then uncertainty is the unpredictable and uncontrollable events that affect the business. So like external shocks and shit. You can't fucking predict the weather. You can't fucking, if an earthquake happens or like a recession happens, you can't do shit about it. You're part of the market. The market's failing, and the economy fails, which affects the market. Now we have human resources. So delayering, what is it? So you know the hierarchy, tall and flat structures, and all of that shit. So delayering is pretty much reducing the height of an organizational structure, right? So you have like matrix, tall, and flat, right? So if you have a tall structure and you reduce the height of it, you have tighter control. So you have more control. There'll be less cost because you have less people to pay. And you know when you have less people, when you have a smaller structure, you're gonna need you have less accommodations, like less offices and shit like that. And then you have better communication, because if there's a shorter structure, there'll be better communication, because you don't have to deal with the bullshit of going to your manager. You can just talk to them like one-to-one. Okay, the organizational structure. It shows the management in the firm, and it works from top to bottom. So it shows the span of control. So the span of control is the employees that are directly supervised by a manager. And I think if you go to a flat structure, the span of control increases. And then there's line management. It shows the line. I'm not sure what that is, I forgot. And then chain of command, which illustrates the lines of authority in a business from top to bottom. But now we have some marketing shit. Market size. So it's the size of the overall market. That's easy. Market growth is a percentage rate of growth in a market, and I'll probably go back to that and tell you how to calculate in a second. Market share is the share of each competitor. So I kind of said something wrong in the other video. If you have 25%, right, of a of the market, if you have a share of 25%, you're a monopoly. If you have more, like, I think a market leader has like over 50% of the market, so that's a market leader. A risk, what that is. A dynamic market is a market that constantly changes. Like, you know, Uber, fucking changed the taxi business. The film industry fucked up completely. I mean, it's not that bad. People still go to the cinemas buy stuff, but Blockbuster's shut down if you live in the UK because freaking torrenting and shit. Yeah. And then marketing equilibrium is the balance between supply and demand, right? So like, yeah, it's just a balance. It's the center point of that. Now we have the Boston Matrix. Boston Matrix. It's a snapshot of the current position of the products, right? It has little predicted value. It's a useful tool for analyzing product portfolio, and the measurements are relative to market share and growth, right? So let's go through the products. Alright, so stars, they have a high share of a fast growing market, right? So they have sick cash flow, but they gotta maintain that shit. Question marks, like we can call them problem childs, because you know they have a low share of a fast growing market, right? And it has potential to be a star, but it can be a dog. So you gotta be selective, and you gotta invest money in it from the cash cows, right? So Apple Watch is a question mark because it can be a star or can be a dog. And I believe if you can use extension strategies on like there's pretty much ways to extend your life on the product life cycle. So using advertising, lowering prices, using pricing strategies and shit like that. Now, PED and YED, okay. So elasticity measures responsiveness of demand to a change in a variable. So the price elasticity of demand, the variable is the price. So the formula is the change in quantity demanded divided by the change in price. So you do the change divided by the original times 100. So the factors of influence that affects the PED are the brand strength. So if you have a good brand, your PED is likely to be, I think it is, it's right there, isn't it? It's greater than 1. No, less than 1. Shit, sorry, less than 1. And the minus and plus, I have no idea. I think you should ignore that shit. I think, yeah, fuck it. So if it's less than 1, it's inelastic, because if you have a good brand, it's not gonna affect it that much, and vice versa. And what the fuck? Hold on. If it's a necessity like milk, yeah, I mean, if you lactose intolerant, you're kind of fucked. But like, okay, water. I mean, you can buy bread. I mean, you can't go wrong with bread. You need it. It's a necessity, so it's inelastic again. If the PED is greater than 1, it will be price elastic, which means making the price lower or higher will have a dramatic change. If the PED is less than 1, it will be price inelastic, and if it's equal to 1, it's called a unitary price elasticity, which means the change in demand equals the change in price. Now the income elasticity is pretty much the opposite, not the opposite, but the variable is now the income, right? The formula is the same thing, pretty much, change in quantity demanded divided by change in income instead of price. If the income elasticity of demand is greater than 1, it will be the luxury, and its income elastic, and if it's necessity, if it's income inelastic. Inelastic. Now, limitations of elasticities is that it's difficult to get reliable data. Other factors affecting demand, like competition, quality, what else is there? There's fucking external shocks that could affect demand. Yeah, so there's loads of shit. Right, now we're on to brand. A brand is a product which is differentiated. I can't say that word. Differentiated, so it raises more demand and becomes more competitive, right? So a brand becomes associated with affordability, quality, and satisfaction. So it's pretty much what's recognized, like celebrations. McDonald's is a universal brand, right? Having a brand adds value to your product, which means you can charge premium prices and you can have some good ass fucking revenue. Brands, yeah, I haven't finished this yet, but a product brand is specific products with fast moving consumer goods, and like Marmite, umbrellas, like a family brand, shit like that. So I don't think you have to go into that much, but yeah. Alright, now we're on to market segmentation and some other shit because I was lazy. So these are just like some stuff I got from like books and exam stuff. So the market segmentation is dividing the market into parts that reflect needs and wants, right? So taste, location requires taste and location, stuff like that. It requires research and data, which is not always reliable, right? And market segments are like group of consumers in a market, which we just talked about, which is with similar buying habits. So athletes buy protein shakes, simple as. And then product differentiation, which is what I talked about before, is the process of differing and adapting to a product to generate a USP, unique selling point, leading to a competitive advantage over firms. And yeah, pretty much. Alright, now we have simple niche and mass marketing. So niche marketing is like a small sector of a large mass market. It has specialist aspects and it provides specialist products, and it has little competition, which means it can charge a premium price because I believe if it has specific little products, still can charge like a relatively low price, but I mean it'll be specific, such as let's say a like Whole Foods. Mass market is a large part of the market where many products are sold by competitors, often necessities which are cheap with general good purposes like fucking bread or milk, as I said before. Alright, now we have an entrepreneurship. Okay, so an enterprise is the skills and abilities to take risks and create profits. Right, that's an enterprise. Social enterprise, firms with like social objectives. So it has social objectives whose surpluses are reinvested in the community rather than making profit. An entrepreneur is someone who takes risks and starts off a business. That's the simplest term I could think of. The characteristics of it's pretty much self-explanatory. Like if they start up a business, they're going to be passionate about it, they're going to be focused, and they're going to be results orientated. So profit maximization is to earn substantial rewards, to get long-term profit maximization, and it may need to accept losses as firms is established. And then the non-financial motives for starting up a firm are more flexible working, because you can run on your own time. Yeah, you got more control over what the fuck's gonna happen, and you want to be the boss. You don't want to like work for someone. You're your own boss, which is very, very nice. And the drawbacks of it is you got to fucking work hard. You have more stress on your hands. And you can't fucking like call in sick, because if you call in sick, you ain't gonna fucking make anything that day. Now we have research. So quantitative, I was supposed to, right? It's really late at night. Leave me alone. Quantitative research requires like statistics. So like, I mean, not that many, but it generally asks questions like straightforward, like how many, like it likes intervals. Qualitative is more like opinions, like what do you think? How do you think about this and shit like that? And and you need it to build a brand. It's used by startup firms like entrepreneurs and stuff like that. They're gonna use it. Primary research is first-hand data to reach objectives, like a private survey. And then secondary research is free and easy to obtain, but quickly can become out of date. I can't write today. Damn, out of date. There we go. So recruitment process, right? So the process of recruit, you gotta analyze the job. You're gonna say what do I need? I need someone to do this job. Then once you find out what the fuck you want to do, you're gonna describe it, put it online. Then you're gonna you want the specific people. You don't want like a complete retard to do the job. So you're gonna like say, okay, I gotta have these skills and shit like that. Sometimes you can let them pass with like lower skills, but it's fine. And then you attract the applicants by advertising it online. The applicants apply for the role. I just turned fucking Arab for a second. Apply. What the fuck? And then you shortlist them. So you pick the best ones, and then you select them accordingly. Then you train them. Yeah. So you can't just have like, you've got to train them to your specific needs, because they may have the requirements, but you got to train them. So good training equals this. It'll be more loyal employees. So they'll have better motivation to actually work, because they feel like they're contributing to the business. But it can result in employers going to competitors, which means they just pretty much use you for your training, and then they fuck off to some firm they prefer. So then there's different types of training. So you can have on-the-job training, which is training in the workplace. So you don't lose time. You actually get the job done, and yeah, it's like it does it via demonstration, job rotations. So now we ask, why do we recruit? We recruit because if the business has to expand, they need more people. If employees leave, they need more people. How to recruit? There's internal recruitment, which is pretty much promoting your staff, delegating them a higher role. So it's cheap and quick, but there's no new ideas, because it's going to be the same old shit. External, you can have a job center. Headhunting, which is like you taking time out of your own thing, which you don't want to take time out, because time is money. And then new ideas, which means like from getting new people, means a lot larger pool of new people with new ideas, but it's expensive as fuck. Now we have staffing, right? So let's go through this quickly. Outsourcing. So what's that? It's pretty much delegating a business process to an external provider. So if you can't do the job, you can give it to someone with more expertise. Subcontracting is delegating a member of staff to work for another firm, and as a result of that, you get more money. Maybe you need to do that to raise some finance or something. So now you have staff as an asset and staff as a cost. So having it as an asset, soft HR, is called soft HRM. So now the staffs are treated like people, normal people. They're the most important resource in the business, and they're treated with respect, and it concentrates on the needs and wants of employees. So like, and the staff as a cost is hard HRM, which is pretty much not giving a fuck about your employees. They're just a resource. They're just a number. They're nothing more than a number. It links with corporate business planning, like what resources we need and shit like that, and then it focuses on workforce needs of the business, such as hiring, moving, and firing. Okay, now we have the flexible workforce, which is really good. Okay, a range of employment options, which is like, so you can give your employees like what they can have. They can share jobs. They can work part-time from home and shit like that. Advantage of it is like, you know, you save cost, because if they work part-time, less hours, less money, less wages or salaries. But then, and also if they're working from home, less accommodations, less cost on accommodations. As a result of that, if they have time to rest, customer service is also going to increase crazily. Now we got the business forms, yeah. So we have unincorporated and incorporated. So in unincorporated businesses, the owner is the business. You are so you and the business are one. You have unlimited liability. So if the business fails, you're liable for the losses. So they're gonna come to your house and fucking take your shit. And it's mainly sole traders, because you got to, you know, pay back somehow if you don't make enough profits. Incorporated businesses are like they have a separate legal identity. So like your company has its own identity. It's mainly private limited companies, public limited companies, and the owners have limited liabilities. So that's sole traders. Sole traders are unincorporated, and it's like an owner starting up by herself, but they can also hire workers, but they won't have any share in the market in the business. They have unlimited liability, so they're liable for if they make a loss. It's quite easy to set up, simple to run, little paperwork, but then you're gonna have to fucking suffer from unlimited liabilities. It's harder to raise finance, and you can't have a sickie, because if you have a sickie, you're fucked. Now we have partnerships. So partnerships are pretty much one or more owner in the firm. Again, unlimited liability. And then the advantages of it is like simple, minimal paperwork, not that much, but the disadvantages is that you'll fucking constantly disagree with the bitch, because like he's gonna keep on talking one thing and you're gonna talk about another thing. That could lead to fights and stupid stuff. And it's complicated to sell, because if you don't want to sell it and the guy wants to sell it, you're gonna have like a big argument, and it's gonna have to go into law and shit. Okay, now limited liabilities. What is that? It's a protection for shareholders, so they can lose as they're liable for investment, but not assets, right? They're not liable for assets. But it doesn't protect against wrongful doing. So if the business really fucks up and it's not their fault completely, not the shareholders, they can sue them for that. It's quite the advantage of it as limited liability, because you won't. The advantage of limited liability is it's limited liability, because you won't nothing's at risk, and it's easy to raise finance. But as a disadvantage, it has more administration costs. And then we have a public limited company, which is a specialist type of a limited company, and the shares are quoted and traded on the public stock market. It can be, it doesn't have to. And a franchise like McDonald's, think of that. It uses pretty much a grants license to another firm, a franchisee, who what's it called, just opens up the same firm. So there's more growth, because more people will get see the brand, and it's like McDonald's is one example, because it's everywhere around the world. It's not cheap, but you get more brand recognition, and it's easy to raise finance. Alright, that was my notes. I don't know, that was kind of quick, and I talked really fast, but like I'm tired as hell. I'm gonna put this in the editor now, try to upload it right now. If not, because I'll do it tomorrow morning. But just these are the main things that I struggled with, so I pretty much covered it now. I'm quite good with it now. If I fuck up tomorrow, hopefully I don't. Finance because will save me. So from tomorrow, I'm gonna take a break on Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, from that day, from those days, I'm gonna do finance stuff. So yeah, stay tuned for that. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and shit, and subscribe. And good luck with your exams. Hope you do good. Don't fuck up. Remember, watch the other video. Use the exam structure. Don't fucking talk about simple shit. Think outside the box. And yeah, cool. And a handwriting. Don't be a fucking cuck with a shitty handwriting like me. Alright, cool. See ya.